Every morning, before the city fully woke up, a young boy stood near the dusty roadside of a small town. His clothes were simple, his shoes old, but his eyes were different. They were always searching for one thing. Whenever a police convoy passed, bicerons echoing, uniforms shining, boots marching in perfect rhythm, the boy would stand straight. Sometimes unconsciously, sometimes with intention, he would raise his hand in a small, hopeful salute. People around him would laugh, some would just ignore him. But the boy, he whispered to himself every single time, "One day, I will be there. One day I will wear that uniform." That boy's name was Ion. Ion didn't grow up with luxury. His father was a small shopkeeper, struggling to feed the family. His mother stitched clothes late into the night, her tired hands working tirelessly to support the household. In their world, electricity cuts were normal. Books were a shared treasure, but dreams were unlimited. From a very young age, Ion was obsessed with the police force. It wasn't about power or fear. For him, it was about discipline, justice, and respect. When he saw senior officers inspecting areas or local police controlling chaos with calm authority, something burned inside him. He never said, "I want money." He never said, "I want fame." He said, "I want to become an officer who protects people." This was a dream born on a dusty roadside, fueled by the sight of uniforms and the sound of sirens. It was a promise he made to himself before he even knew what a promise meant. In school, the mockery began. Teachers would ask students about their future goals. "Doctor," one student would say. "Engineer," said another. "Businessman," a third would chime in. When it was Ion's turn, he stood up tall, his voice filled with a confidence that seemed out of place. "I want to become a DSP, or at least an SS." The classroom erupted in laughter. One boy sneered, "People like us don't become officers." Another whispered just loud enough for everyone to hear, "Can't even afford coaching." Even a teacher with a polite but dismissive smile said, "That's a big dream, Ion. Study first. Dreams can come later." That day, Ion walked home in silence. The laughter echoed in his ears. But that night, while the rest of the world slept, he opened his old worn-out book under a dim light. He looked at the pages and told himself, "If they can't see my future, it doesn't mean I can't build it." The years that followed were years of invisible struggle. Becoming a police officer wasn't easy. There were grueling exams, there were demanding physical tests. And there was the competition, thousands upon thousands of people, all fighting for just a few precious seats. Ion studied for years. While his friends enjoyed their weekends, he was revising notes. While others slept soundly, he was awake, memorizing laws and procedures. While others quit after a single failure, he just kept going. He failed his first test. The sting of that failure was sharp. It hurt badly. He failed the second time, too. This time, the voices of doubt grew louder. People started saying, "Give up. It's not for you." Relatives advised him, "Find a normal job. Be practical." His friends, one by one, slowly disappeared, tired of his singular focus. But every single time doubt tried to win, every time he felt like quitting, Ion would close his eyes and remember the road, the sirens, the salute. And he reminded himself of a powerful truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Then came the breaking point, an evening steeped in despair. Another rejection letter had arrived. This time, it felt different. It felt final. Ion sat alone, the weight of his failures crushing him. For the first time, tears fell freely. He started questioning everything. Am I chasing a lie? Am I just wasting my life? Was this dream always too big for someone like me? Felt completely and utterly broken. At that exact moment, as if guided by fate, a police jeep passed by his street. The same familiar sound, the same crisp uniform, the same air of authority. And in that instant, something inside him that had been extinguished woke up again. He stood up straight, and through his tears, he raised his hand and saluted the passing vehicle. Then he whispered to the empty air, his voice shaking but firm, "I am not done yet." That was the turning point. That year, Ion changed everything. He became relentless. He woke up earlier to improve his physical training, He identified his weak subjects and attacked them with a new strategy. Most importantly, he stopped listening to the noise. The doubts, the mockery, the unsolicited advice, he blocked it all out. He started following one simple rule: consistency over motivation. Even on the days he felt empty, on the days he felt no inspiration, he showed up. He studied, he ran, he prepared, because he finally understood something powerful. Dreams don't need loud declarations. They need silent, unwavering dedication. The day the final results were announced, Ion didn't celebrate. He didn't scream. He didn't jump for joy. He just stood still, his heart pounding in his chest as he scrolled down the list. And there it was. His name. Selected. The boy who once stood on the roadside, saluting passing convoys, was now officially on the path to becoming an officer. His parents cried tears of joy. The neighbors who had doubted him fell silent. His journey wasn't over. It was just beginning, but his belief in himself was now unbreakable. Years later, a police convoy stopped near that same road. The same dusty town. This time, a DSP stepped out of the lead vehicle. His uniform was sharp, his eyes were calm, his presence was commanding. A group of children stood nearby, watching in awe. And among them, one small boy, mesmerized, raised his hand and gave a small, hesitant salute. The DSP saw him, a gentle smile spread across his face. He stood straight and returned the salute with a crisp, perfect motion. Because he remembered being that boy. He remembered the dust, the dreams, the doubt. And he knew something important. He knew that dreams don't change your life overnight. They change your life one disciplined, dedicated day at a time. So, if you are out there struggling right now, if people are doubting you, if the road ahead feels impossibly long, remember Ion's story? Remember this: you don't need shortcuts. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't even need luck. What you need is patience, consistency, and the courage to keep going when no one is watching. Because one day, someone will look at you the same way you once looked at your dream. And on that day, every sacrifice, every struggle, and every silent battle you fought will finally make sense. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire.